The diner was quiet that morning, the kind of quiet where even the sound of a coffee cup meeting the counter felt too loud. Sunlight slipped through the blinds, cutting the air into warm golden stripes. At a corner booth, a man in a black leather vest sat alone, his broad shoulders tense, his face carved with the kind of stillness that comes only from years of riding through storms, both on the road and in life. The patch on his vest read Hell's Angels, and most people kept their distance. But that morning, fate decided to sit him next to a small boy with trembling hands and eyes that carried too much sadness for someone so young. Before we go on, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that even the roughest souls can have the gentlest hearts, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stories like this remind us that compassion can come from the most unexpected places. The boy sat at the counter, staring down at his plate, pushing scrambled eggs around with a fork he never lifted to his mouth. The waitress, an older woman named Martha, noticed the boy's quietness right away. She'd been serving breakfast at that diner for nearly 30 years. She knew when someone's silence meant more than shyness. She tried asking where his parents were, but the boy only shook his head. His hoodie sleeve was tugged down tightly, almost as if he was trying to hide something. It was when Martha gently touched his arm that the truth came out. The sleeve slipped back, revealing a deep purple bruise spreading across his small forearm, ugly and painful to look at. She gasped softly, her heart sinking. The boy's lip quivered, but no tears came. It wasn't the kind of bruise that came from falling off a bike or roughhousing at school. It was the kind of bruise that spoke of fear, of cruelty, of nights spent praying the yelling would stop. The biker, sitting only a few seats away, had been staring into his coffee, lost in his own ghosts. But that sound, the sharp inhale from Martha, the soft, broken sniffle from the boy, made him lift his eyes. His name was Rooster, though few people knew his real one anymore. He'd seen violence. He'd caused it too. He'd lived a life where fists and fury were easier than words. But in that moment, looking at that small, frightened kid, something shifted inside him. The boy whispered something so soft Martha almost missed it. "It was my stepdad." Rooster's grip tightened around his coffee cup until his knuckles went white. He didn't even realize he was standing until his chair scraped back across the tiled floor. He left his half-full cup of coffee steaming on the counter. The room fell silent as he crouched beside the boy, his rough hand resting gently on the counter beside him. He didn't say a word, he didn't have to. The boy could feel it, that quiet promise of safety that comes from someone who knows what danger looks like. Outside, Rooster's motorcycle gleamed in the sunlight like a symbol of something both wild and free. But that morning, it wasn't freedom he was chasing. It was justice, or maybe redemption. He didn't ride off to find the men who hurt the boy right away. Instead, he stayed long enough to hear everything. Martha called the police, and the boy clung to Rooster's vest as if it were armor. When the officer arrived, the boy refused to let go. The biker, who had spent most of his life being feared, was now the only person that child trusted. As the days passed, Rooster found himself visiting the boy in the hospital, bringing small gifts, a toy motorcycle, a chocolate bar, a simple smile. The boy, whose name was Ethan, began to open up. He told Rooster about his mother, how she worked nights and didn't know what was happening at home. He told him about the bruises, the yelling, the way he used to hide under the bed when his stepfather drank too much. Rooster listened, really listened, the way no one had ever listened to him when he was a kid growing up in a broken home of his own. For the first time in years, Rooster saw himself not as the man he'd become, but as the boy he once was, the boy who needed someone to step in and say, "You don't deserve this." He couldn't go back and save his younger self, but he could damn well make sure Ethan never went through that again. The court took weeks to handle the case, but the evidence was enough. The stepfather was arrested, and Ethan's mother, her heart shattered by guilt, began to rebuild her life. She thanked Rooster every time she saw him, though he always brushed it off, saying he was just in the right place at the right time. But everyone in town knew that wasn't true. He had been in the necessary place, the place where courage meets compassion. Word spread quickly, and soon people began seeing Rooster differently. The leather, the tattoos, the Hell's Angels patch, all of it stopped being a reason to fear him. Instead, it became a reminder that sometimes the most intimidating people are the ones who've simply survived too much. He still rode his Harley down the open roads, but there was something different about him now. When he passed by the diner, Ethan would run out to wave, his little arm, once bruised and broken, now strong and healing. Months later, one crisp autumn morning, Rooster walked back into that same diner. Martha greeted him with a smile and a cup of coffee before he even sat down. And there, sitting at the same counter, was Ethan, laughing as he poured syrup on his pancakes. When the boy saw Rooster, his face lit up like sunrise. He ran over and hugged him, whispering a quiet, "Thank you." Rooster didn't say anything, he just ruffled the boy's hair and smiled. In that small-town diner, surrounded by the smell of bacon and coffee, something had come full circle. A man who once believed his hands could only cause harm had found a way to use them to protect. A boy who once hid from the world had learned that not everyone was cruel. And a simple act of kindness, a cup of coffee left unfinished, had changed both their lives forever. If this story touched your heart, please don't scroll away without leaving a like and sharing it. These moments remind us that hope can come from the unlikeliest of people, and that one act of compassion can ripple through a lifetime. Before you go, take a moment to comment below. What do you believe defines true strength, power, or kindness? Because sometimes, the strongest people aren't the ones who fight the loudest battles, but the ones who quietly protect someone who can't fight at all.